Good morning, believers, my brothers and sisters in the Lord. Happy Saturday morning. Thank you for joining me for this morning's devotional. And this is day one of the 5 traits of a godly woman. So, fellas, this is very important. And like I said, there's two things I feel like we need to absolutely be grounded in. And the number one first thing is our faith in the Lord, right? That comes before anything. And then second, you need to have a clear understanding of the type of woman that you're gonna choose as a wife, right? Because we should be choosing women as wives, not girlfriends or just casual dating, but you should be vetting a woman to be your wife and the mother of your child, and to start in the beginning a family that serves the Lord, right? If that's what you choose to do. I myself, I feel like Paul said, I believe it was in, uh, yeah, First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 8. Let's read that real quick. So, I mean, I'm of this mindset, but I've been married twice, and I done ran the gamut when it came to dealing with women. So it's easy for me to adopt this mentality, right, in my grand old age. But for you younger men, I get it, right? So, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 8 through 10 says, I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. I absolutely agree with Paul on that. What he's saying is that, he would prefer that you be single and that you devote your time and your resources and your gifts and your talents to serving the Lord, right? But if you're not able to contain yourself, if you don't have enough self-discipline and to tamp down your own lust in your flesh, then yes, absolutely, you should marry. It's better to marry than to burn, right? But so for you young men out there that desires a woman for a wife, that desires to start a family, then yes, by all means do so. You rather do that, do it the right way, right? And so, with that being the case, when it comes to selecting a woman, right, you need to know what you're looking for, and what's best suited for you. You have to be equally yoked. This is so important, fellas. And if I can get anything across to these young men today, it would be this for sure. Because if you can really get this down deep in your souls now and apply it to your life, it will save you a lot of time, a lot of headache, a lot of heartache, a lot of resources. You do not want to go in and out of marriages, in and out of relationships. That's just a waste of time. So when it comes to selecting a woman to be your future wife, to be the mother of your children, to start a family with, there is nothing more important as far as I'm concerned outside of your relationship with the Lord, and being a strong man of God. So that's the purpose of this series. I want to be able to highlight the 5 traits of a godly woman. And then yesterday we started off, with a sort of a prelude. And like I said, we're gonna look at it through two different lenses. You have the traditional woman, who back in my day when I was growing up, this type of woman, she was raised by her mother and the other women in her family, right? To be a wife and to be a mother. She learned how to keep house. She learned how to raise and children, and she learned how to be dutiful unto her husband. That's known as the traditional woman. Then now we have the modern woman. The modern woman is all about pursuing her education, pursuing her career, being the boss, being strong and independent, right? Yeah, so that would be the modern woman. She has no need for man. That's not the woman you want, fellas. We just gonna cut to the chase on that. And so I just want to be able to highlight the differences between the traditional woman and the modern woman. Okay. And so if you could really get this down deep in your bones, like I said, you will be you will be ahead of the game, sir. Okay, and then let me say this before we get started, fellas. Like I said, we age like wine, us men, and women age like milk. You need to understand that there is no rush. There is absolutely no rush. Women are on the clock. We aren't. Okay? And I'm going to say this, I'm 53 years old, and today I would be taking a 30-year-old woman out today and we'll be spending some time together. Now, I know there's a big age difference, but trust me, she told me that she didn't mind at all, right? And so, and I'm going to say this, it still amazes me that you would think that the older we get as men, the less attractive that we become. It's actually the opposite. To be honest with you, I don't get it. It's a biology thing, but it seems that the older I get, the more I think it has more to do with our demeanor, because we, as in my age, I am more subtle. I'm more just mature, right? And I think women pick up on that and they're attracted to that. And so fellas, I just say all that to say now, don't think that you're in any rush. Okay, you have time, sir. So I think in your youthful years, you should absolutely be focused on your purpose and your peace more than focus on starting a family with a woman first. Absolutely, you should wait till you get settled enough, financially settled enough, mentally settled enough, spiritually, before you even consider getting into a relationship with a woman for the purpose of being a wife and the mother of your children. Straight up, I honestly believe that. You should wait. Wait. See, women are on the clock. We're not. Okay. And my last point on that, I had an uncle after he had a couple failed marriages, and these women took him to the cleaners. He moved to the Philippines, and that's a whole different culture of women there. They're not of the modern woman mindset. And he found him a nice young bride, and she gave him two daughters in his 70s, and he's living the life of a king over there for sure, right? Because them women know how to take care of men over there. They are raised to do that. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna get right off into it. So the five traits of a godly woman. Okay. It's not about physical beauty or personality. Fellas, get that in your head. Learn to look past the costumes that these women wear. Look past the outer person of the woman and start to and look for character. Look for integrity. I like to say, from a Christian lens, look for the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, right? Look beyond outer beauty and don't fall for the personality, right? A woman with good personality could distract you and mislead you as well, because see, these things can be fabricated. A woman can put on the costume and present herself as beautiful, right? Or a woman could laugh at your silly jokes and bat her eyes and hee hee and ha ha with you, right? And it comes off as having a good personality. That can be artificial as well. So, fellas, you want to look past personality. You want to look past beauty because those things can be artificially generated. Women are good at being pretenders. Okay, you need to understand that, right? So a modern woman, she wears the costume, the fake hair, the fake eyelash, the makeup. The modern woman's whole outside persona is an artificial creation. Okay, it's just to lure people in, right? It's just to lure people in so she could take advantage of them for her selfish purposes. She's not interested in being a wife. She's not interested in being a mother. She won't be respectful to a man. She's not interested in being submissive to a man. The modern woman is not who you want, fellas, at all. Okay? The modern woman is for the tricks and the simps. We just gonna keep it at like that. The modern woman is for the tricks and the simps. For as men of God, we are looking for the traditional woman. And you do not want to give your strength, as it says in Proverbs 31:3. Do not give your strength unto a woman. Strength meaning don't give your resources to a woman. Don't chase after a woman. That's what tricks and simps do. Okay, so we need to really understand that. Solomon wrote in Proverbs 31:30. Let's read that right quick. Okay, 31:30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Okay, so Solomon understood that the wisest man to ever walk the earth outside of Jesus, right? So he said, yeah, the beauty of fade and favor is vain. Favor meaning her personality, her charm, her charisma, right? So fellas, you want to look past that, okay? Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. That's another translation of that verse. Okay. So number one, is she a woman of God? Fellas, there is no more starting point than that. Is she a woman of God? That's your first goal, right? Okay, so now with this lady that I met, I haven't asked her that because see, I've learned to not ask. You want to be able to see. A woman that can say anything out of her mouth. If you ask the woman, well, do you believe in God? She'll say yes. A lot of these modern women will call themselves Christians, but their lives are everything but Christians. Okay, so you don't want to go for the lip service. You want to be able to see the fruits of the Spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness. Gentlemen, you want to be able to see if she is a woman of God. For me, this is the most important thing. Because if she is not a woman of God, then that is not the woman you want to choose as your wife or the mother of your children. Okay? Because the reason I say that is that you will never ever please a woman. You will never make her happy. You will never fulfill her. You will never satisfy her. I don't care how much you do. It may start off good and lovely and everything, so, but women for some reason it's just in their biology. It soon fades. The sex is never as good. They will find it's not. You will never please a woman. You can never fulfill a woman. Period. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how funny you think you are. I don't care how good you think you are in the bedroom. I don't care about none of that. Right? A woman, for some reason, she will grow bored, tired, and then she will begin to look to other men to fulfill those needs. So you need to first understand that. But a godly woman, she gets her joy from the Lord. A godly woman, she gets her happiness from the Lord. A godly woman gets her contentment from the Lord. She doesn't look for you for those things, okay? So that's the big difference between a godly woman who is a traditional woman or to the modern woman who is an ungodly woman, okay? Like I said yesterday, a traditional woman, she worships God. A modern woman, she worships herself, right? There is a big difference in that. And fellas, you need to be able to see this as clear as day. God created man and woman for a specific purpose and function. And as I was thinking about that this morning, what came to mind was I'm gonna use this analogy is as base as it gets, right? But hopefully it paints enough of a picture for you to get the point. Okay. So look at it like this: you have a spoon and you have a fork, right? Two utensils, right? They're both utensils, okay? But they each have its own specific purpose and function. Okay, if we have a bowl of soup in front of us, you're gonna use the spoon for the bowl of soup. Yeah, you could use the fork. It's not as effective. It's gonna be messy. It's out of alignment for what the purpose of a fork is for. If you have a bowl of soup, you use a spoon. Okay. And so with the modern woman will say, "Well, I'm a fork. I can eat the soup too. I don't need the spoon." And she'll be making a mess and being out of pocket, and we'll be sitting back like, I'm a spoon. It works better if I do it. I don't need the spoon. I got it. I got it. And we'll be making a mess everywhere. It's so look at. I know it's a simple analogy, but it definitely drives home the point, fellas. Okay, so God created us with specific purpose functions. Man, we have a role and a purpose and a function. A woman has a role, purpose, and function. Okay, and so we need to both stay within the confines of what God created us to do. Okay, the man is the pilot, the woman is the co-pilot. Okay, the traditional woman, she doesn't mind that. She wants you to be the pilot. She will come alongside you as the co-pilot and respect you in your position, and she will stay in her position as being the woman, the wife, the homemaker, the nurturer of your children. The modern woman, she wants to be the pilot. She wants you to be her co-pilot. It's even worse than that now. She don't even want you to be the co-pilot. She wants to be the pilot and the co-pilot. Okay, you do not want the modern woman, fellas, at all, at all. I would say avoid them at all costs. Okay, I'm just letting you know, because she'll come into your life and try to spoil your wife, spoil your kids. You do not want to have anything to do with these type of women at all. Men of God, I'm trying to tell you, it'll save you a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of resources. Okay. Uh, so yeah. So the first thing is she a woman of God? Her relationship with God will come first in her life, and her faithfulness will shine through everything she says and does. And a verse that goes along with that is Ruth 1:16. So let me see. Let me go to that right quick. Ruth is in the Old Testament. It's one of those little known books that we always overlook, right? So, but I would just want to read that verse, and then we'll wrap this one up for the day, and go about our day, right? So 234. If you don't know the story of Ruth, I recommend that you go and read it. Right? It's actually a very good story, and she was instrumental in helping the nation of Israel get back to its land. Okay. So Ruth, uh, chapter 1, verse 16 says, "And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee or to return from thee, excuse me, let me start over. And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee, for whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God." Right? And so I know this is King James Version. I always recommend that you go read in the different versions to get a fuller context. I was just born and raised on King James. But what Ruth was saying when she met Boaz is that she was letting him know, I I I will go where you go. I will sleep where you sleep. See, she was letting him know that I am submitting myself unto you as the head of my life. Right? And that is the kind of tradition. That's the kind of woman, fellas, that you want to vet for as being a wife and the mother of your children. Okay? The modern woman, you don't want to have nothing to do with her, and you need to be able to recognize the difference. Okay? And that's what this whole series is about, is to be able to highlight the differences between these two types of women, and as being men of God. You want to be able to choose wisely when it comes to dealing with these females out here, because if you don't, oh man, you will suffer. I promise you. And if you know your Bible, you know that all the grace in the Bible has fallen to the wiles of a woman, to choosing wrong when it came to a woman. That is just the truth. You got David and Bathsheba, uh, uh, all of them, Samson, Samson and Delilah. Uh, uh, yeah, so it's a Jezebelian spirit that's running through this world now, and these delusional women, and all they are doing is trying to entrap and ensnare and take your resources and destroy you as the man of God that you are called to be. All right, so we're going to end it there. Thank you for joining me. If you found any value in this devotional this morning, all I ask is that you take 5 minutes and give it unto the Lord, right? That's all I ask in return for this. And I pray that you have a blessed and wonderful day. I pray that you go about this day seeking to serve and not be served. Look to do good unto others, right? It's better to give than to receive. Okay? All right, thank you very much. And let's be light and let's be salt.